Okay, okay.
Hello. This is Paulo Arias with International Relocation Partner, and this is the Expat Community podcast, where for today we have every Friday we're looking to do free Spanish classes for all of our newcomers, expats, and people who are looking to move abroad. You might be moving to Costa Rica, you might be moving to Panama or to Mexico, and we want you to learn the local language. I think we experience that those who take the time to adjust to the culture, learn the local language, they usually have a better experience. And as we said before, living and moving abroad to a country like Panama or Costa Rica, without really interacting with the local, it's like living a 50% of the experience. So it's a lot more. With me, Professor Wagner, say hi, introduce yourself a little bit, take us into the topic.
Hi, Pablo. Hello. How are you? So
You're doing
happy to
amazing.
be. Yeah. Happy to be here one more times with our free Spanish classes. So my name is Wagner. You know me now. Uh, a Spanish teacher, with a Spanish school for residents and expats here in Costa Rica. I'm happy to be here with our new class.
So, what we're doing this class, I know you guys are connecting. Don't be shy. Just say hi. Say, hey, my name is John. I'm from, I don't know, North Carolina or I'm from Texas. Uh, and just be part of the class. We want to make this as interactive as possible. Let's go. Uses of verbo tener. I'm just guessing that's going to be our class. Hit us. Let us know. What are we doing?
Well, Pablo, so this is the second part of our class about the verbo tener. So we started talking about this verb 2 weeks ago, but we didn't finish that session. So, however, today we will have the class again. So I am going to do a small review about the two uses that we saw 2 weeks ago, plus the two more uses that we will see um, this week. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, please let me know if you can see it.
Okay.
Yes, we have it here. Okay, the verbo tener, Pablo, all the people who is connected with us, the verbo tener is a very important verb. So before to check the uses, let me go through all the conjugations. So remember, these are the conjugations for the verbo tener. In the present, verbo tener, yo tengo. With the person to, remember to, it's you informal. Okay? Verbo tener, tú tienes. Tú tienes. After that, we have he, she, and you. Remember, this second you, it's formal. So we have tú that it's informal and you that it's formal. So the conjugation of the verb is tiene. Él tiene, ella tiene, usted tiene. The next one is we. We have we male, we have we group, and also we have we female. The conjugation it will be tenemos. At the end, we have one more group. We have they male, they female, they group, and you all. The conjugation it will be tienen. So repeat with me. Yo tengo.
Yo tengo.
Tú tienes.
Tú tienes.
Él tiene.
Él tiene.
Nosotros tenemos.
Nosotros tenemos.
Y ellos tienen.
They have. Ellos tienen.
Exactly. Very good. In the past, so in the past, now the same verb, these ones are the conjugations. Yo tuve, tú tuviste, él tuvo, nosotros tuvimos y ellos tuvieron. In the past, yo tuve, tú tuviste, él tuvo, nosotros tuvimos y ellos tuvieron. Okay? And finally, in the future, we will use the future that we use more in Latin America. This will be voy a tener, vas a tener, va a tener, vamos a tener y ellos van a tener. Okay, here we have the three conjugations of the verbo tener in the present tense, in the past tense, and in the future tense. Okay, so I invite you in your houses to practice this conjugation. Okay, the rule number one that we saw 2 weeks ago, it was about the use number one. The use number one is we use the verbo tener when we talk about possession. Now here we have the example that we saw that day. Let me read it with you. Example number one, yo tengo una computadora nueva. I have a new computer. Remember, the use number one of the verbo tener is when we talk about possession. The sentence number two, mi hermana tiene 2 casas en México. My sister has 2 houses.
2 houses in Mexico.
In Mexico, exactly. Very good. The example number 3, if you see the conjugation, it is in the past. So the example is, the last year I had a black car. En español, el año pasado yo tuve un carro negro. Okay? I invite you that you continue reading these examples in your house. So the use number one of the verbo tener is when we talk about possession. Okay? The second use of the verbo tener is when we talk about our age. So, and this is, remember we talk about this, but this is very funny because sometimes when people, native speaker Spanish, they say the age, sometimes they say in English, I have 25 years old, I have 50 years old. And for people who speak English, this is weird because why they are saying I have. If we in English, we say I am. But the situation is that when you in English, you say I am 24 years old, How we say that in Spanish is I have 24 years old. Okay, so here we have some examples. Yo tengo 42 años. Mi hija tiene 5 años, casi 6 años. Mi hija tiene 23 años.
I'm not sure if you have 42 years old. I'm not sure if you are 42 years old.
Well,
Yo tengo
yo,
42 años. By the way, my birthday is at the end of this month, May 21st.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
42 years old.
We need to celebrate it.
I
42
don't know
años.
about
No. Yeah, yo tengo 50 años. That is me.
Wow. Half
I
a
am
century.
half of century, exactly. I am 50 years old. In Spanish, it will be yo tengo 50 años. Okay? So, these two uses were the uses that we saw 2 weeks ago. But now we will go to the two new uses for this new session. Okay? Bien. One of the uses of the third use of the verbo tener is when we for things that they are mandatory. So we use the verbo tener also as obligation, okay? But here we will use one specific structure. So with this structure, we will use two verbs together, dos verbos juntos, okay?
So,
and tell me. Yeah, tell me.
let me raise my hand here. I understand in English it's a similar thing. I could say, I have to make money, or I have to take care of my kids, or I have to. Is it like in Spanish? I have
Exactly.
to. Yo tengo que trabajar. Yo tengo que. Is it the same, right? No.
Exactly. So in this case, yeah, exactly, that is the situation. We will use the verb to have plus one additional verb. So let me give you the example. Tomorrow, I have to work. Tomorrow, I have to work. If you see the sentence, we have the verb to have, that in this case, it's already conjugated, but also we have the second verb, that the verb, it is infinitive. I have to work. If I want to say this in Spanish, I need to say, mañana yo tengo que trabajar. What's the difference? So, the sentence, it has exactly the same meaning. However, there is one very important difference between Spanish and English. And the situation is that when you are saying this in Spanish, you need to put que in between the two verbs. Okay? This is because you don't have this auxiliary in English. You say, I have to work, but we need to say, yo tengo que trabajar. And this is exactly some of the mistakes, or one of the mistakes sometimes that our students they have. Because remember that you don't use this in English. So what is the mistake? When they say, mañana yo tengo trabajar, they forget the use of the auxiliary que. If you say in Spanish, mañana yo tengo trabajar, probably, of course, probably I will understand what you are saying. However, it is incorrect because in Spanish, remember, we need to use que in between that two verbs. Okay, so the right sentence, it will be, mañana yo tengo que trabajar. This sentence, it's implied that is something mandatory, that it's something obligatory that you need to do. Okay, give me one more example. For example,
I can do one.
yeah, tell me, of course.
Yeah, like I have to. I have to. Mañana tengo que ir a hacer un border run.
Mañana tengo que
Está muy complicado, muy
hacer.
larga.
No,
But I
no
have to
problem,
do a
no
border
problem.
run tomorrow.
Ajá, mañana tengo que hacer un viaje. Ajá. Tell me in Spanish, what is that? Border run.
Border run es una salida a la frontera. Border, una
Ah,
carrera a la frontera.
ajá.
But
Entonces
it's a
mañana.
very popular thing within the expat community. They have to exit the country, and this happens in Panama and Costa Rica. It also happens in Mexico. You have 180 days in some of these countries, or 90 days in other countries. They have to exit in and out. But you must do it, otherwise you break the immigration law or the tourist law.
Exactamente, exactamente. That is very common also, the students, yeah. Even if now they have 6 months, yeah, for the visa, yeah. Okay. En español, how we say that is, mañana tengo que hacer. Probably the common way to say that is un viaje a la frontera. Or probably we will say, yeah, mañana tengo que hacer un viaje a la frontera. O mañana tengo que ir a la frontera. Okay? So, exactly. If you see, we have the verbo tener plus other verb. Verbo tener, it is conjugated, and the verbo viajar, it is infinitive. Okay. Pablo, what else? Tell me about other obligation or something that is mandatory for you.
So I have a question: is this only for tomorrow, future, or I can go
Oh,
past?
no.
I can say,
No.
I
Well,
had
if
to
it's
go
in
to the doctor yesterday.
exactly. So we can use the
Ayer
same rule.
tuve que ir al doctor ayer. O tuve que ir al doctor.
Exactly. So that is why we saw the 3 different conjugations, because we can talk about one action that we are going to do in the future, something that we are doing in the present, or something that we did. Okay? Yes, exactly. Por ejemplo, ayer tuve que renovar mi pasaporte. This is something important between the expat community. Yesterday I had to renew my passport. Okay? Ayer tuve que renovar mi pasaporte. Exactly. But now you are talking about one action that already it's in the past, but it was one obligation or it was something mandatory for you, because if not, you cannot leave the country. Okay? Exactly. And let me give you one more in the past. Hace 2 meses, mi amigo tuvo que ir al banco. He wants to stay in Costa Rica. He wants to live in Costa Rica, and he needs to bring money to Costa Rica. He needed to open a banking account. So it was mandatory for him to go to the bank and open banking account. So, hace 2 meses, mi amigo, tuvo que ir al banco. 2 months ago, my friend had to go to the bank. Okay, so it is one action that already is in the past, but it was something mandatory. Okay, Pablo, entonces remember this. Verbo tener when we talk about possession. Verbo tener when we talk about age. Verbo tener when we talk about something that it's mandatory. Okay, But I want, before to go to the next use, I want to see with you this common mistake. Now you know, one of the common mistakes, that is when the students, they say, yo tengo comprar leche. Yo tengo comprar leche. So, do you remember
It's
what's
missing
the
something.
exactly?
It
Exactly.
doesn't
That
sound good in Spanish. Just
exactly.
letting you
That
guys know up front. You have to have yo tengo que. Que.
exactly. So the
Otherwise, it sounds like they're not from here. Like weird.
exactly. Entonces, the situation with this is that, remember, when you have two verbs together, and in this case we have the verbo tener, we need to use the auxiliary que. Okay? So now the sentence is correct. Yo tengo comprar leche, it's incorrect. Yo tengo que comprar leche, it is correct. But now we have the other situation. And why we need to use que? Because this situation is something mandatory. It's an obligation. But the other mistake is when the student, they say this. Yo tengo que un carro nuevo. The situation here is that they are talking about possession, but they are using que in the sentence. When we talk about possession, it's not necessary to use the que. We will use que only when we have two verbs together.
That
But
makes a lot of sense now.
exactly, but the structure here is verb plus noun. Verb plus noun. We don't need to use que. So in some cases, they don't use que, but in another cases, they use que, and they should not use it. Okay? These
I
are
hear you.
these are the two common mistakes. So in number one, remember to use que, but in number two, remember that when it's a possession, we don't need to use it. Ok, yo tengo un carro nuevo. Bien. Okay, now I want to go through some expressions that we use in Spanish with the verbo tener. So these are expressions. For example, the expression number one, we use tener ganas. So I remember normally, probably, Pablo, your kids, they say, papá, tenemos ganas de comer un helado.
That's a common one. That's a very common one.
Ajá.
The one dessert, the one they're ice cream. So,
Papá,
papá, tengo ganas.
tengo ganas. Papá, tenemos ganas de comer un helado. The meaning of the expression tener ganas, it means as to want. Papa, we want to eat an ice cream. Okay? So actually, that is why we can say this in two different ways. One is, papá, tenemos ganas de comer un helado, o papá, queremos comer un helado. Okay? So both sentences has the same meaning, queremos comer. Both sentences has the same meaning, but with two different structures. One is using the verbo tener, and the other one is using the verbo querer.
One.
To want, exactly. The verb to want and the verb. So, tenemos ganas, tener ganas. Pablo, ¿qué quieres comer?
Yo tengo ganas de tomar café.
Yo tengo
Tengo ganas de tomar café.
Exacto. Yo tengo ganas de tomar café. That is basically, I want to drink coffee. I want to drink coffee. Okay? So this is the expression number one. Tener ganas, to want. Okay. Expression number two. Tener suerte. Tener suerte. When we use
have luck.
exactly, to have luck, to get luck. So that is when the situations are positive, okay? So entonces yo puedo decir mi amigo ganó
Tiene suerte.
la lotería. Ajá, mi amigo ganó la lotería. Él tiene suerte. Ajá. Mi amigo ganó. Ajá. My friend, he won the lottery. Ajá. He is very lucky. Okay, that is how we can say that. So my friend won the lottery. Mm-hmm.
You notice how some people always win everything. They get into the cards, play whatever. They just always win. But people has a lot of luck.
He has a lot of luck. Uh-huh. If you are in Costa Rica, if you are in Mexico, if you are in Panama, okay, he is very luck. Exacto. Muy bien. Tener ganas, tener suerte. And now we have the expression number three. Tener prisa. We use a lot that expression. Tener prisa, it's to be in a hurry. Okay. For example, you can say this. Pablo, I need to talk to you. Can you give me 5 minutes? And maybe, and you can say, hey, Wagner, I'm sorry. Tengo prisa. So I am in a hurry. Exactly. Wagner, I'm sorry. I can call you back later because tengo prisa. That is exactly the use. Exactly. That is the use of this expression. Okay. Puedo hablar contigo. That is what I said. Puedo hablar contigo. Uh-huh. Can I talk to you?
Hey, when I can speak to you?
Exactly. Exactly. And Pablo, you said, Wagner,
not right now.
Sorry.
I'm in a hurry. No, not right now.
No en este momento. No en este momento. Tengo prisa.
Tengo prisa.
But Wagner, after my meeting, of course, I can call you back. That is the use of this verb. So that is the use of this expression. Expression one, tengo ganas. Expression two, tengo suerte. Expression three, tener prisa. Number four, tener la culpa. Tener la culpa. Exactly. So we use this expression, and what I remember, people use this expression, especially when you have a car accident. Fortunately, nothing bad, but we say, ¿quién tuvo la culpa? ¿Quién tuvo la culpa? And we say that when we want to know who was the persona who crashed the car. Yep.
Who's guilty?
Exactly. Who is guilty? Exactly. ¿Quién tuvo la culpa? Okay. ¿Quién tuvo la culpa? Oh, sí. This person. This person.
Whose fault is this? Who's to blame?
Exactly. Muy bien.
¿Quién tuvo la culpa?
Ajá. Very good. In the expression number 5, we have the expression tener éxito. Tener éxito. To succeed. When things in the business are going well. So when you start a new office, yeah, in Tamarindo, Pablo, que tengas éxito. Usamos esa expresión para decir tener éxito. Espero que mi negocio tenga éxito. Espero que mi negocio tenga éxito. I hope that my business be successful. Okay?
I wish,
Por
I wish, or
supuesto.
hope my business to succeed.
Exactly.
Or another one for the community,
Tell me, tell me.
for John Miller, who is always connecting to our class. I hope that your relocation is a success. I hope that your life in Costa Rica is a success. So
Exactly.
esperamos que tu mudanza o tu vida en Costa Rica sea exitosa.
Exactamente,
Yeah.
exactamente.
Ser-
Okay?
no, tenga
Y
éxito.
see, and finally, the last expression in this section is tener en cuenta. Okay?
To
Tener
consider.
en cuenta. That it's to consider. Because I can say, tenga, Pablo, this weekend I want to go to Nicoya. Okay, I want to go to Nicoya. And Pablo, you will say, Wagner, tenga en cuenta que el puente
Está
está
cerrado.
cerrado.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wagner, you
Or-
are
Yeah, I was giving
you will,
context. The
yeah,
bridge,
yeah,
the bridge
exactly,
to so that you have to take the route. It's closed here in Costa Rica.
exactly,
Guanacaste, this bridge is closed, so make sure you tengan en cuenta que el puente está cerrado. You have to go
exactly.
around through Liberia and drive maybe 3 hours more.
Wagner, especially if you tener prisa, if you are in a hurry, especially if you are in a hurry, Wagner, tenga en cuenta that the bridge is closed. So in that case, you can see what is the best time to go there. Consider, take the consideration of that situation. So let's go again to all the expressions. Tener ganas. It will be to want. Hoy tengo ganas de correr. Today I want to run after classes. Bien, tener suerte, to get luck. Tener prisa, to be in a hurry. Tener la culpa, to be blamed. Tener éxito, to succeed. And tener en cuenta, to consider. So, these are some of the phrases, some of the expressions that we use with the verbo tener. Okay,
So,
Pablo, sí, tell me.
notice something, you guys, and I'm not the professor or anything, but I'm starting to notice a pattern with the tener. Tener, as we have been practicing, is to have, but you can have something like this cup, which is a physical thing. It's to have. It's tangible, right?
Exactly.
Or that's the first use, to have physical things. Or you could have to do something. So I have to do, and that's not a physical thing that you can hold in your hands. It's something that you must do, right? And these 5 different expressions are not tangible things and not things that you have to do. Those are very common, things that we use the word have. So to have luck, or to have the desire, or to want, or to be in a hurry, those are not tangible things in a physical world, but those are things that, it's just ways that we use the word tener, or to have, to express, to have the blame, or to be in a hurry, or to be lucky, or to desire. So there are 3 different, I guess, ways to use this word, which is tener. Which is
Exactly.
interesting. I started to see the pattern. Correct me if I'm wrong,
No. You are completely correct. But also, I want to, John, you told us one of the expressions also, and that it could be like the rule number 5, or the use number 5 of the verbo tener. When you say, for example, tengo hambre. Tengo hambre. Thank you, John. This is your example. Yes, we use also the verbo tener with some, in this case, with a noun tener hambre, it's a noun, but with the idea to express some conditions. Yeah, like for example, tener hambre, that is, I am hungry. Okay, but also we can use the expression tengo frío. Tengo frío. Okay, this is also one of the expressions. I am cold, I need a sweater. Tengo frío. Okay, but also the other expression is when you say tengo calor. Pablo, ¿qué hago? Tengo calor. So you can go and swim for some minutes, and after you will be
Get
fresh.
a beer. Get yourself a cold beer.
Por supuesto. Tengo hambre. I want to eat chifrijo. Tengo frío.
Get a sweater.
I need a sweater. Tengo calor. I need a beer. Okay.
So I'm noticing something else. You know, in English, this type of expression is I am hungry. Like me, Paulo, at this moment is hungry. But in Spanish, it's not like that. It's not like Paulo have become hungry. It's like Paulo has this feeling of hungry. So because I have this feeling of hungry is tengo. I am hungry, right? So
exactly.
Tengo hambre. So
exactly.
It's the same thing with cold.
Exactly.
I have this feeling of this place is cold.
I am cold.
Not like exactly. I have become. And in English, it's like that. It's like I am, which is in Spanish for us, it's kind of weird. Like, what do you mean I am cold, right? I'm not a cold, right? But that's how we think in Spanish is a little bit different. We think about these things as something that we are feeling, and this is what we own, or we are having this feeling, and that's why we said tengo calor, tengo frío, or tengo hambre, tengo hungry.
Exactly. These three examples are very similar, like when you say about the age. Remember the age. I am 40, but we say I have 40 years old. So it's something similar. I have hunger. I have cold. I have heat. So that is weird how we say that in English. But yeah, John, thank you. So John, thank you
so much.
So, yeah, John, thank you. So basically, these are the most important uses of the verbo tener. So to remember, if you want to use this correctly, here you have the conjugations. Try to practice the conjugations of the verbo tener. Remember, if you talk about possession, remember if you talk about your age, if you talk about situations that it's mandatory to do, you are going to use it there, plus the different expressions. So, Pablo, en este momento yo tengo ganas de almorzar.
Me too.
Tengo ganas de almorzar. That means I want to have lunch. Yeah, probably with a very cold beer. It's Friday.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Werner. It's time for us to go for today. For everybody who is being part of this, who is listening, invite other people. We're doing this every Friday. I think this is a good service for the community. Connect with us. We have a large Facebook group in Costa Rica, group that is growing in Mexico. It's called the Expat Community Mexico or the Expat Community Costa Rica. Those are Facebook groups. We are also have a little group in Panama. But anyway, the point of this is we want to get together with you guys and collaborate and make your journey a little easier. I'm not a professor. I don't pitch this for everyone. I do help people move to these countries, and I want to be able to find ways to collaborate. And I thank our professor for this time that he's taking from his business to teach us all for free. At We Speak Spanish, we are really thankful for this effort. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Pablo. You're welcome. We will be here.
It's always a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.